Okay, this is a little reminder for my students and all of you who watched the last video that we have 5 parts to remember if we want to learn new words. Number 1, definition. Number 2, context. Number 3, connection. 4, morphology. And 5, word families, the category. Well, today I want to give an example because one of the best ways to learn something is with an example. You know, a picture is worth 1,000 words. An example is worth 1,000 hours of teaching. So today's example is gratuity. Gratuity, the definition is tip. The definition is reward. The context, I'll give you all throughout the video, but I'll give you some sentences right now also. Gratuities are common in the restaurant culture of the United States. As a teacher, I don't expect a gratuity. A gratuity is a reward for good service. Some people expect a gratuity after they've done a good job. So those are some contextual clues for gratuity. Number 3 is a connection. How do we connect gratuity to our daily life? Well, do you have a service job? Then you might need a gratuity. Number 4, I provided an example of morphology in the reading section, but I'll go ahead and tell you a little bit about it right now. Gratuity comes from the Latin word gratus or grata, and that means reward or pleasure. So we have other words like gratitude, which is thanks, and graceful, which is pleasing, or we have persona non grata, which means a person who's not welcome. These are all part of the morphology of gratuity. So now we can get an idea of the word as it exists in the language. We've got gratuity, gratitude, grace, graceful, so pleasing to the eye, pleasing, thankfulness, and reward. We can add some context. We can say, I give a gratuity when I feel thankful. I am pleased, so I give a gratuity. It's pretty simple. And that's how morphology can help us learn these words. Today's word is gratuity. And then number 5, we have a word family. And that word family includes service charge. A little different than gratuity, right? Gratuity, service charge, deserve a gratuity. Also percentage. This is important when we're thinking about the American tipping culture because percentage is a big part of that gratuity. And then we have customary, mandatory, optional, discretionary. These are all some words that are in the reading lesson. So now let's jump into the listening exercise, and I really hope you enjoy it because I had a whole lot of fun creating it. Anyway. Okay, pause the video and go find the listening section. It's in the reading and conversation lesson on the 3rd page. Tipping is the best way to get good service. It's not strange. Think about it. You give your bartender extra money and she puts extra vodka in your cocktail. You put some cash in your concierge's hand and he helps you find a great party. So you pay your waiter a little bit extra and the server pays extra attention to your table. It's not rocket science. I mean, I would work a little harder too if I got a gratuity. Servers don't always deserve a gratuity. I mean, do your job, right? Your job is to serve people. I like those restaurants that have increased menu price by like 20% and they ask customers not to pay tips. That's better. People say tipping culture, like it's mandatory or something. I say service culture and take pride in your job. I don't like the tipping culture because I feel bad for the waiters. They have to work for tips. It's embarrassing. I pay between 10 and 20% depending on the service. If the waiter deserves the tip, you know? A simple service charge might be better to protect the waiter's dignity, though. The minimum wage for waiters should increase so that waiters don't have to beg for tips. I've worked in the service industry, and tips are the only way to survive. A tip isn't a reward or a handout. A tip is a payment for good service. And tipping isn't optional. If you can't tip, don't go out to dinner. Waiters are professionals too, and their job is hard. Restaurants aren't easy places to work. I'm happy to pay 15%, 20%, and maybe more if the service is good.